You can get up to the top of my list. Looks like a long lesson today, doesn't it? Okay, last week we looked at unblocking from the standpoint of the defense, particularly when the contract is 3-no trump. When the contract is 3-no trump and your partner's led a suit, you need to set about right away unblocking should you hold honor cards in that suit. Should you hold the ace, king, queen, or jack, and your partner's led the suit at no trump, if there's any chance that you're going to block the suit later on, you need to try to ditch those big high cards as soon as you can. Today, we're going to go on the other side of the table and we're going to look at unblocking from the standpoint of the declarer. Now, you've already seen this hand, but I think it's a good lead in to what I'm going to talk about today. And let's look at this hand. Let's look first of all at the bidding. South is the dealer. South has 13 high card points. Opens the hand with 1 diamond. So looking at the South hand, all of you should open this hand with 1 diamond. West has no business bidding. The North hand has 14 high card points. What does North know? North knows you've got at least 12. She knows she's got 14. You have at least 26 high card points. North knows something South doesn't know, that you're going to be in game somewhere. Just got to find the best game to be in. She should begin by bidding 1 heart. She has 2 4-card majors. Her spades are a bit better than the hearts. But if you bypass bidding the heart and you bid a spade first, and then you come back and you bid 2 hearts, your partner's going to think you've got 5 spades and you got 4 hearts. So the correct way to bid with North's hand is to bid the hearts first, even though they're not as good as the spades. Bid the heart. You come back to the South hand. South has basic minimum, has only the 2 hearts, the ace, king. She doesn't have 4 spades. She doesn't have an unbalanced hand. She has a balanced hand. Now she's a little bit worried about saying 1-no trump because spades look kind of puny there. But the correct bid by South over the 1 heart is 1-no trump. Now, a couple of ways this could be bid. 2 spades by North at this point is a forcing bid. And if you play, it is a forcing bid. And it might imply to your partner that you've got 5 hearts and 4 spades. But certainly, you cannot pass whenever you are the opener and your partner bids a new suit, you have to keep bidding. You see, so the South hand cannot pass. North has got to make a bid to keep the bidding going, cannot allow South to pass because it's got to get the game somewhere. So when she bids 2 spades, she may be in play on 5-4 or 4-4. When you come back down to the South hand, South is absolutely delighted to hear the 2 spade bid. Bids 2-no trump, again saying I'm 12-14, and now North goes all the way to 3-no trump. So a couple of ways that you can bid that, but I think possibly the first way is the better. Okay, the opening lead. Now, you know I have told you when the bidding is over, opening lead is made and the dummy comes down. And I have said this many times. Before you call for the first card from the dummy, you need to analyze the hand. You are in 3-no trump. When we studied 3-no trump, the play of 3-no trump, you count your cashable. If you cashed out right now, how many tricks do you have? And you look at this hand, you have 2 spades, you have 3 hearts, and you have 4 clubs, and that adds up to 9. And you say to yourself, well, I'm going to make this contract, no problem, 9 tricks coming out the door here. But you need to stop right there. What can you do? What can go wrong? And what you need to see right away is, I need to plan carefully how I'm going to cash these tricks. The queen of spades is led. There's no reason to hold up. Play your ace of spades. You've got 4 club tricks coming to you, but what you've got to do is to make certain that you cash the 2 big clubs, the ace and the jack of clubs that are sitting in the dummy. You cash those first, get them out of the way. The worst thing you want to do is be over in the South hand and you can't cash all your clubs because you got to get back over to the North hand and you don't have but one more way to get over there, and that's with the king of spades. So in the analysis of the hand, you see that you have 9 tricks, but you have to carefully plan the order in which you take your tricks. So you play the ace of spades at trick 1. You get the ace of clubs and jack of clubs out of the way. Untangle the suit, unblock the suit, get them out of the way. And now you come to your hand with a small heart. It doesn't matter if you cash the king of hearts right then. You can do that, or you can cash your king, queen of clubs. You certainly cash your king, queen of clubs, and you need to cash your king of hearts before you go back over, because if you don't do that, you're going to block the heart suit. You can't get your queen of hearts. So it's a little bit tricky. If you've taken the time to do the analysis and spent the time you need to take on this hand before you call from the first card, you will make this hand and you should not have any problem. So when the queen of spades is led, you take the ace, you get your ace, jack of clubs out of the way, small heart to your ace of hearts, cash your king of hearts, cash your king, queen of clubs, small spade back over to the king, cash your queen of hearts, and that's your 9 tricks, and you've made your hand. But if you don't unblock from the short suit first, and you've got a short suit, the ace, king of hearts, you've got the ace, jack of clubs in the dummy. You've got 2 hands, two suits in which you need to get rid of the big cards before you go to the other hand. So cash your ace, jack of clubs, come to your hand with the ace of hearts, cash your king, queen of clubs, cash your king of hearts, go over to the king of spades and cash your queen of hearts. You do it any other way, you're going to block yourself out and you're not going to make your 9 tricks. So you've seen this hand before, but I thought it was a good lead in to not only planning before you call for the first trick from the dummy, but in making sure you play everything in the right order. All right, let's come down to example 2. Example 2, sometimes a suit is blocked right at the get-go. Let's say you have the ace, king of spades in your hand and you have the queen, jack, 10, 5th. You're saying 5 tricks coming out of this suit. You're not getting 5 tricks out of this suit if you don't have an entry to the dummy. And many times this happens to you. But let's say they lead a suit, and this is your spade suit. First thing you want to do once you get in is to go ahead and cash your ace, king of spades. They don't know right away that you may not have a 3rd spade. And they may help you out and eventually sometime during the hand lead your spade for you. But what you've got to make sure somewhere along the way is to get rid of your ace, king of spades, so that in the event the declarers make a mistake and put you over there, that you can now cash out your queen, jack, 10. More than likely, and at the level you people are right now, you're not going to do that. You're not going to help the declarer out. But you see, this suit is blocked. Unless you have another entry to the dummy, you have no way. So about all you can do is you're just going to get the ace, king of the suit unless you have some help. This next hand illustrates what is really, really sad, and this actually happened. A novice was playing with a pro. I don't know what he was paying him. But let's look at the bidding first. The novice is the guy sitting down in the south hand with 16 high card points and 4 aces and nothing else. You hate like the Dickens to open one no trump with that hand, but what are you going to open? You have 4 tricks, but you have 16 high card points. So you bid one no trump. West should not bid. The pro is sitting up there with 7 clubs to the king, queen, jack, 10. And he knows, don't give away any information. So he just bangs right into 3 no trump. And that kind of, makes it more difficult for the opponents. And I think you're already guessing what happened in this hand. But the king of diamonds was led. That's you top of a sequence, perfect lead, king of diamonds. Guy took your ace of diamonds, and you know what he did? He led the 2 of clubs. So when he leads the 2 of clubs, he gets the king of clubs, and now he leads a club back to his ace. He has no way to get all those beautiful clubs sitting over there. And of course, he's a novice. He was a beginner. And we all say, well, we would never do that. But I bet you've done something similar to that before. And let me tell you this, if you do this kind of thing and make a mistake like this, please don't. Your partner shall not ever say a word to you. And I'm sure the man never said anything to him. I'm sure he knew painfully what he had done. He had blocked the suit. Of course, the proper way is to unblock from the short side, play the ace, play the big one from the short hand, the ace, and then the 2, and you run all those tricks, and you're going to make 10 tricks. You're going to have 7 clubs and your other 3 outside aces. But it was painful. but it was a lesson. And you've got to always, and I've got it down there in bold and I've got it in caps, always play your high honor from the shorthand first. What he did was he played the 2. And then, of course, he gets 2 club tricks, and that's all he gets, and he goes down in the contract. Again, when your partner makes a mistake like that, don't say a word, just be quiet. Example 4. Let's look at the bidding of example 4 first. South is the dealer. South has 13 high card points and opens a diamond. East-West does not bid. In this particular hand now, North does have 14 high card points, and she knows that it's going to go to game, but she doesn't know where yet. She begins by bidding a heart. This is a little bit different from the one above where you were 4-4. This time you're going to bid a heart because you have 5. Even if you had 4, you'd bid a heart. And partner down at the bottom has 13 high card points, perfectly balanced. She's weak in the heart suit. She's delighted to hear her partner bid a heart, so she rebids 1 no trump, balanced hand. Now, this is an example of where the new minor forcing comes into play. So that's why I wanted to put this example in. 2 clubs now by the North hand is new minor forcing. It's pretty much forcing to game. What he is asking by the 2 clubs, he's implying that he has 5 hearts, and he may also have 4 spades. But he is telling his partner, I have at least 5 hearts, partner. Do you have 3? South comes back. South does not have 3 hearts. South does not have 4 spades. If South had 3 hearts at this point, he would rebid 2 hearts. If he had 4 spades, he would bid 2 spades. But he has neither. He has neither 3 hearts nor 4 spades. So his bid is his 2 diamonds, and his partner with 14 high card points puts it in 3 no trump. So I wanted to show you an example of the new minor forcing coming into play. So the opening lead is the king of clubs. Dummy comes down, and you're going to make your plan. You have 9 top tricks. You have 4 spade tricks. You have 1 heart. You have 3 diamonds, and you have 1 club. That totals up to 9 tricks. But what you need to think about in your analysis, okay, I got to get rid of that ace of hearts. I got to get rid of that as soon as I can, because when I get to my hand, I want to be able to cash my king, queen. I'm talking about the ace of diamonds now. Ace of diamonds, I need to get rid of that right away. Untangle the suit so that when I get to the south hand, I will be able to cash my king, queen. Okay, so the guy has led the king of clubs. There is no need to hold up. Take your ace of clubs, lead a small diamond to the ace. You want to unblock that diamond suit as quickly as you can. And then you want to lead a small spade back to your king, cash your king, queen of diamonds, cash your jack of clubs. You're unblocking now cash your jack of spades. You want to unblock from the short hand first, playing your king, jack of spades. And then you go back to, you have the ace of hearts to get there, or you also could get there with the spade. And then you cash out your ace of hearts and you cash out your 2 spades and you make your 9 tricks. So this is an interesting hand because it illustrates the new minor forcing, that bid, and it also shows you again that you've got 2 short suits. The ace of diamonds sitting in the dummy, you need to get rid of it right away. When you get to your hand with a spade, you cash your king, queen of diamonds, but you also need to cash your other big spade, the jack. You can either go back to the dummy with the spade or with the ace of hearts, cash out your spades, and you make your 9 tricks. So it all comes in planning. Once the opening lead's made, dummy is tabled. Before you call from the first card from the dummy, always decide how you're going to play this hand. If you have a short honor, you have a short suit, you got a short suit with one of those big honors, you want to unblock it in that suit in that hand first. You don't want the same thing to happen as did happen above, where he didn't unblock that ace of clubs. All right, now I want to look at some combinations. Example 5. You don't have an entry outside of the spade suit. Let's say this is spades. This suit is blocked. The best you can do on this hand is to get 3 tricks. You begin by playing the king. You want to unblock from the south side because it has the short side suit. Play the king, overtake your jack with the ace, and play your queen, the best you can do is to get 3 tricks. Now, the way I would play this suit, especially if you are in no trump and this is your holding, say in the spade suit, I would delay playing this suit until I needed to. Maybe play around with some of the other suits. And then when they have to start making discards, what are you watching for? You're watching for discards in the spade suit. They may inadvertently, they don't know you've got the king jack tight. East-west may start throwing spades. Keep a count, that's the only suit that's important to you. Keep a count of the spades they have thrown. And then when you are ready to play your spade suit, play your king, overtake your jack with the ace, play your queen. And if they've thrown too many, your little 2 of spades may take the last trick. So you want to delay on playing a suit like this when you don't have an outside entry. Maybe they will throw cards in that suit so that once you get over there, your little card may set up to take the final trick. But if you have to play it early, the only way to play this combination is play the king, overtake your jack with the ace or the queen, and play your queen. And you can get at least 3 tricks. Now, these next 4 examples are another examples of, again, you don't have an outside entry to the north hand. Okay, so you're leading the suit. It is blocked. Let's say the south hand, you have no outside entry. So the way to play this to get the maximum number of tricks would be to play the king, overtake the queen with your ace and play your jack, and you get 3 tricks. If you had an outside entry to the south hand, you would play the king, queen, come to your hand with the outside entry and cash your ace, jack. But in the event you have no way to get to the south hand, you have to play the king, overtake the queen with the ace and play the jack, at least to get 3 tricks. It's sort of like the hand above. If you can delay playing this and you're in no trump, it may be they will throw cards in that suit, and maybe your little ones, once you get to the south hand, will take the final tricks. Now, in the second one there, you have the short hand, the ace, jack, the 2 big honors there, and you have 5 to the king, queen. Again, you have no outside entry to the south hand. So the way to play this combination is to play your ace, overtake your jack with the king, play the queen, and you get at least 3 tricks. This is the type of also suit where you would want to delay playing until near the end, especially if it's no trump. Maybe they'll throw some cards in that suit, and your little cards down in the south hand will take those final tricks. In number 3, you do have one possibility of taking 6 tricks, but you first have to play the queen. You overtake it with the ace because you have no entries to the south hand. You play the king and you play the jack. If the suit breaks 3-3, then all your 3 little cards, and you'll make 6 cards, they'll all be good. Most of the time, though, when 6 cards are out, they break 4-2. About 67 to 68%, they'll break 4-2. But every once in a while, a third of the time, they will break 3-3. So you play the queen, overtake the ace, king, and the jack. If they have broken 3-3, then you're going to get all 6 tricks. But probably not going to happen for you. Fourth hand, there's no way but making 4. You can only make 3 tricks because you have no entry to the south hand. So you just take your ace, king, queen, and that's all you can do. So these all represent, you notice that you have to plan to make the maximum tricks. In that first one, you play your king, overtake with the ace, you get 3 tricks. The second one, you play your ace, overtake your jack with the king, and you get 3 tricks. You try to give yourself 6 tricks on this one by overtaking the queen. Probably only going to get 3 tricks there, though. Might possibly get, but I doubt it. Fourth one, there's no chance for you to get but 3 tricks. Ace, king, queen is totally blocked the suit. All right, next I've been harping here on, now when you have the shorthand and you have big cards in the shorthand that you need to unblock those so that when you get to your hands, you can cash your big ones. Sometimes you don't want to unblock those suits right away. And I wanted to put example 6 in to show you this particular example. All right, let's look at the bidding first on example 6. The south hand has 14 high card points, 5 diamonds, 4 clubs. She's certainly going to open 1 diamond. Hopefully West won't bid. People bid with anything now, but let's say East-West is not bidding. And you begin north by bidding a heart. You have 4 hearts and you have 4 spades. So you bid the heart first. Coming back to the south hand, you have a minimum, tail up to 14. You have 5 diamonds and 4 clubs. you're going to rebid 2 clubs. If you had 3 clubs and 3 diamonds, 3 spades, I would rebid 1 no trump. Even with Jack third of spades, I would rebid 1 no trump. But with this hand, you want to rebid 2 clubs. And I don't know, this was an actual hand, and this is the way it was bid. They bid 2 spades in the North hand. North doesn't have it 9 high card points. His partner's telling him, I have 12 to 14, and he's got 9. Why he even thought game in his hand. This is another thing that people are doing. They're not thinking, we don't have game in his hand. I have 9. She's limited her hand 12 to 14, unless she's lied or missed an ace somewhere. But anyway, she bids that 2 spades. In their system, it was not suit forcing as we would play it. And for some reason, the South hand went all the way to 3 no trump. They are on a 23-point 3 no trump contract. And you know, I have told you that when you get in a bad contract, you try to do the best you can. You try to give yourself a way to make it. Secondly, you try to go down as few as you can when you are in the wrong contract, or you're in a almost unmakeable contract. You're on a 23-point 3 no trump contract. The opening lead is the 2 of spades. And let's look at it. You're in a very shaky contract. Let's look at it. You have 1 spade trick, you have 1 heart trick, you have 3 diamond tricks, and you know in no trump, the cashable tricks you have 5 tricks. Ace, king, queen of diamonds, ace of hearts, and the ace of spades. Now you're hoping that the diamonds are going to set up. That'll give you 2 more tricks, but that's still not enough. You're going to need to get a club trick out of this in order to make this contract. So you've made your analysis and you're ready to go. What is the significance of that 2 of spade lead? Obviously, the lady did not have a sequence. It is the 4th best, probably. And 11 minus 2 says there are 9. And you are looking at 6 that are bigger than the 2. The ace, the 5, 4, and the 3, and you're jacking 7. That's 6 cards out of the 9 that are bigger than the 2. So that means that each sitting over here's got 3 cards bigger than the 2. So you know right away that this spade suit is breaking 4-3. The opening leader did not have like a 6-card suit or a 5-card suit or something that's going to cause you a problem. So the 2 of spades is played. You duck it. You play the 3. East plays the queen. And of course, you play the 7. When East comes back, she needs to give remaining count. By remaining count, we are talking about how many cards in the spade suit does East still have. She's played the queen. She has 2 remaining. So she plays the 9, the second highest of 3. She plays the 9, giving remaining count. Of course, you have to play your jack. And West plays the king. Now, do you play your ace? Yes, you do. The reason why you do is you don't want them finding the heart shift. You see, you're kind of awful weak there. You got 1 stopper and a heart suit. You don't want them to find the heart shift. So 2 of spades, 3 of spades, queen of spades, 7 of spades. 9 of spades back, you play your jack, the king is played, you play your ace of spades. Okay, now you play the king of diamonds. You're starting to unblock. And now you lead a small club towards your king, queen. Now you can see double dummy, you can see the ace sitting there, but even if you couldn't, if she ducks, you're going to play the king. I would play the king, even though the queen is equal. And the reason why is you're trying to hoodwink. If you play the queen and it holds, what does East now know? East knows her partner doesn't have the kings. Certainly, if East had the king of clubs, he's going to play it on the queen. So what you want to do when you play the small club is to play, and it's ducked by East, you play the king. If East does play her ace, now you're home free because the king, queen, that gives you your 9th trick. But she ducked it, you play your king. Don't play the queen, play the king. You want to fool East into, maybe East thinks her partner's got the queen, who knows? Now you complete the unblock of the diamond suit by leading a small diamond back to the queen. And now you lead another small club. And she can take her ace or not. If she ducks it again, you take your king, and now you play your diamonds and you make the contract. This number 6 is an example of you do have the king, queen of diamonds sitting there and you need to get rid of them. But you also need the diamond as a second entry to get over there to lead towards your club twice. You're in a very shaky contract. And so several points on this hand. When the spade is led, the two of spades, you know the spade suit is breaking 4-3. The queen is taken by East, gives remaining count by leading the 9 back. You play your jack, the king is played. You should right now rise with your ace of spades because you don't want a heart shift. Heart shift could be devastating at this point. Play one of your big diamonds, lead a small club right then towards your king queen. And let's say it holds. Now you complete the unblock of the diamonds by leading a diamond to the queen, and you lead another club. And if everything works the way it's supposed to, you are going to now make this hand. But if you don't take the ace of spades on the second trick, if they hit the heart, I don't think you're going to make this contract. So no matter what kind of contract you get in and how hopeless it looks, there's always a way sometimes to make these hands. And that comes from the analysis before you call for the first card from the dummy. So in this particular situation, even though South needed to unblock the king, queen of diamonds before she could run her diamonds, she kept that second diamond over there as a second entry to get back to lead towards her clubs the second time. All right, now I want to move into, last week when I talked about how when you are the defender, you can block a declare from running a suit. So we're going to look at it from the other side of the coin, where the declare, it's a no trump contract where she can actually block them, the opponents from running a suit. And we want to look at a couple of examples how that could be. In no trump contracts, it's always a race. The opening people, the east-west pair, if you're declaring as north-south, they have the first salvo, and they're trying to set up their long suit and get it established so they can run it and set you and win the race. Of course, you're going to do everything you can to keep them from running their long suit, and also to get your suit set up so that you can run it and you win the race. So preventing the opponents from running a suit by blocking the play doesn't come up very often, but when it does, you need to be able to recognize it. And it will come in the diagnostic part of the opening lead. That opening lead at no trump is so important and can be so very, very revealing. What have they led from a sequence? You'll know if it's a sequence. Have they led an inside sequence? Have they led the top of nothing? Have they led fourth best? Trying to figure out what that opening lead means can be extremely important. Okay, let's look at example 7, looking first of all at the betting. The south hand has 12 high card points, would open a diamond with this hand. I don't think that this day and time, probably West would put the spade in, but a spade bid in, but I would not, especially vulnerable, I would not. Let's say that East-West is passing. So you open a diamond, partner bids a heart, partner has 16 high card points. So the north hand knows you're going to game somewhere. So she bids a heart and you rebid a no trump. You're in pretty good shape there. You have a balanced hand. Your partner's going to cover your weak heart suit. You rebid a no trump. And now partner with the 16 high card points doesn't want to get, there's no need to bid anything else but 3 no trump. You know that 3 no trump. First of all, you bid the heart. If your partner raises 2 hearts, now you're going to bid 4 hearts. You don't have slam in his hand, but you do have game in his hand. Where is the game? It is 3 no trump. As soon as your partner rebids a no trump, you know he doesn't have 4 hearts. So you just simply bid 3 no trump. All right, so the lead of the 3 of spades, and you have the luxury of double dummy, so you can see the 3 of spades. When the dummy comes down, you do your analysis. First of all, you count your tricks. You have the ace of spades. You have 4 diamond tricks, and you have 3 club tricks. Now, it's a possibility, you have 8 tricks. It's a possibility that the 4th club will set up. Possibility of leading towards the king, queen of hearts. Once the ace is out of the way, you're going to get either the king or the queen of hearts. The problem in this hand is he led the 3 of spades. There's a possibility if that guy has 5 spades, he started out with 5 spades and the ace of hearts. Once they get in with the ace of hearts, they take 4 spade tricks and they set you. And so what can you do? What is the significance of the 3 of spades? 3 from 11 is 8. In your hand, in the dummy hands, you are looking at 6 cards higher than the 3. So that means that East has only 2 spades. So you now know that West started with a 5-card suit. And you also know another piece of information. He does not have the king, queen, jack, because if he had the king, queen, jack, he's going to lead the king. He did not do that. So you know that East has 2 cards in the spade suit. You also know that she has either the ace, king, queen, or the jack. The play that you make is a blocking play, and it comes from analyzing the lead, analyzing that East must have a big card and has only 2 to an honor. You play the ace. You play the ace of spades. Now, that most of the time I know that you would not play it that way. But if you lay this out and you think about it, you're going to see that I'm telling you what this is the way that you do block the suit. You play the ace. Now, if East hangs on to her queen, she's got to either play the queen or the 7. If she plays the 7, now her queen is going to block the suit. If she plays the queen under your ace, you know she doesn't have a 2. When she gets in, if she has the ace of hearts, she can leave 1 back, but you say you still got the 10-9. If she correctly plays the queen under the ace, and then eventually you let her in with the ace of hearts, she's got the 7 that she can leave back, but you say you put the 9 or the 10 in, and you force the king or the jack, and the West hand can now go ahead and play her other big spade, but you see, then she's going to have to lead right, and you're going to get either your 10 or your 9 of spades, your 9 or 10 of spades. So you have a second stop at it. So by playing the ace of spades on trick 1, you put East in a precarious situation. Her best play is to unblock with the queen. When she gets in with the ace, she plays the 7. But you see, you have the spot cards, the 10 and the 9 of spades, and you're going to have a second stopper. So you play your ace, and you've got to play your ace, jack of diamonds, so that when you get to your hands, you can play your king, queen of diamonds, and then you play your ace, king of clubs, and then you go back over there to, you can lead your heart. You've got to give them the heart at some point, and you are going to make the hand. But you see, by playing at trick 1, the ace, you block the suit, the spade suit, and there's no way. But you don't know that unless you really stop and think. East has got 2 cards, only 2 cards in the suit, and one of them has to be the ace, king, queen, or the jack. Otherwise, this guy would have led the top of a sequence. So you block the suit, and once you knock out the ace of hearts, there's no danger. You are going to make this hand. And now we're going to look at blocking them out when you're in a suit contract. Most of the time, you're talking about blocking them out of running a suit when they're in a 3-no trump contract. But this is one I thought would be interesting to you to look at it from the standpoint of we now have a suit contract. Now, this one you have to really think about. The south hand has 22 high card points. It's certainly going to open 2 clubs. Pass. You make the north hand has 4 points, makes the obligatory 2 diamond response. And now you bid 2 hearts, showing 5 hearts. And I want to talk to you about the 4 heart bid. When the 2 heart bid is made, you are north, you know you're not interested in slam, no way, no how. You don't have anything extra, but you do have 4 hearts. Tell your partner right now, it's sort of like what we call a picture bid. Just bid 4 hearts. That's where, and you tell your partner right away, we don't have slam. I have some heart support, but I don't have anything extra. And for you to get excited about. Now, of course, if the south hand said 30 points, she's going to go on. But she doesn't. She has just 22 high card points. She knows you have at least a 5-3 heart fit. She doesn't know she's getting a 5-4 fit, but she's going to pass 4 hearts. There's no need in the north hand Q bidding over 2 hearts, doing anything but simply bidding 4 hearts. You could bid 3 hearts, but that's implying that you got extra. You don't have extra, just bid 4 hearts, and that's where it plays. All right, so the opening lead is made is the jack of diamonds. And again, the dummy is tabled, and you want to do your analysis. You're in a suit contract, so remember when we talked about playing suit contracts, you count your losers. The first thing you do is you count your losers. You obviously have to lose the ace of spades. You have no heart losers. You have one diamond loser and you have two club losers. You have four losers. What can you do? All right, you go back to the lead, the Jack of Diamonds. What is that? Is that an interior sequence? Could he be leading? You're looking at the ace and the queen. Could he possibly be leading from the king, Jack 10? Or could he be leading from the Jack 10, 8? You're looking at the ace 9. So he's either led from the Jack 10, 8, or he's led from the king, Jack 10 when he leads the Jack. So you play small. He's led the Jack of Diamonds, you play small, and lo and behold, the king comes out here on the east hand. He plays the king, he returns remaining count, or if he does return it, he should return a 6. But he should not return the diamond because he sees the ace 9 tennis sitting over there. He knows, if he's thinking at all, he knows his partner has led from the Jack 10, 8. He didn't lead from the queen, so the declarer's got to have the queen. So he shifts. What's the logical shift? He's looking at a very weak suit there in the club suit. So he shifts to the king of clubs at trick 2. He takes the king of diamonds, wisely decides, if he returns a diamond, that's great for you because that's right into your 9. You pull your trumps, and then on the ace of diamonds, you ditch your club. He's smart enough, East was, not to lead back into that tennis because he knew his partner had led from the Jack 10, 8. You also know he's led from the Jack 10, 8. But I'm getting ahead of myself just a little bit. He's at trick 1, what should you play as South? When East plays the king, should you play the queen or should you play the 3 of diamonds? You need to play the queen. Why? Here's what you know. You know that West has led from the Jack 10, 8 because you got the ace 9 sitting on the board. The king has been played. If you don't play that queen of diamonds, now you don't have a way to get over there to get a pitch on your diamonds. If you play the queen of diamonds under the king, the guy switches to the king of clubs, you play your ace, and now you lead your 3 of diamonds. You know where the 10 and the 8 are. You have the ace 9 tennis over top of the 10, 8. You play your 9. I would pull my trumps. I don't think you cannot pull your trumps. You got to go ahead and take your pitch right then. You play your ace of diamonds, pitch your club, and now you pull your trumps and you give them the ace of spades, and you lose 1 club, you lose 1 diamond, and you lose 1 spade, and you make your hand. But see how, if you're not thinking, and you're not thinking about that opening lead, that's why it's so important. And Susan Bricken, when she taught novices in Blacksburg, she tried her best to talk to them. Our inclination is as soon as that dummy hits the table, and I've seen people in Roanoke, I've played with them in Roanoke, not any of you, who before the dummies even hit the table, it's called for the first card. There couldn't have been a whole lot of planning going on. And I'm not fussing at anybody, but just see how important it was, not only in the previous hand, but especially in this hand. Hey, I got to play that queen of diamonds under that king. That gives me a second entry over there, and I can now get rid of a club loser, and I'm going to make this hand. The majority of people are not going to play that queen of diamonds, and they're going to go sit in this hand because you have 2 club losers that you cannot eat. So being on the watch for how you, the declarer, can block them is very, very important. Next week, I am going to just have several hands, have it be interactive. I think a lot of the new people are afraid to come to the lessons. At least they have expressed to John Markey, who is the partnership chair, that they are afraid that in lessons they'll get asked a question and they'll be embarrassed or they won't know what to say. Now, you all know that I never call on anybody unless I have opened it up and said, what do you think? That I would not specifically call on Chuck unless Chuck raised his hand and said, I would like to answer that question. So you all know that, and I'm trying to encourage all of these new people who I do invite them every week. If they would go to the website and look at some of the previous lessons and look at the videos, they will see that I never, ever call on anybody and would embarrass you. I wouldn't want to be called on. I might be in La La Land, not even be, how y'all were in some of your classes in school, and you're looking like straight at the teacher, but you're not hearing a word she said, and she's asked you a question, and I don't even know what we're talking about. You all know I would never do that. And if there are new people who might be interested in coming to our lessons, please tell them that Carol never calls on you, would ever embarrass you. Now, last week, I gave you an assignment. I gave you 3 hands and your partner is at no trump and your partner has led the suit and I've given you your holding. Your partner in this particular suit leads the suit, a small one, and you hold specifically the ace jack third. If there is not a big honor card sitting in the dummy, such as the king or the queen, then you need to play your ace. If there is the king or queen in the dummy and the declarer does not play it, now you need to play your jack. You don't want to take a chance of the declarer getting 2 tricks. So if your partner's led for say 5 to the 9, and the queen is sitting in the dummy and you know that the south hand is bid no trump, he's got the 10. You see, if you play your ace, now you allow the declarer to get not only his queen, but also his king. So you don't want to do that. So if there's an honor card that is not played from the dummy, now you just put your jack in. But let's say that there is no honor card. The correct play here is to play your ace. And then you want to give remaining count. You have 2 cards left. You play your second highest, which would be the jack. You don't want to block the suit. If you lead the 2 back, you may block the suit with the jack. All right, the second example, your partner has led the suit, and this time you hold ace jack fourth. Again, if there's no honor card in the dummy, you play your ace, you give remaining count by leading the 2 back, saying you had either a doubleton or 4. You're not going to block the suit because you still, once you've played your jack at some strategic point, you'll get rid of that jack or play it. You still have the little 3 that you can get to your partner so she can cash out any remaining cards she might have. Now the third hand, your partner's led the suit and you hold the ace, jack, 10 little. You play the ace. Instead of giving count, you do have 4. In the hand 2, you gave count by leading the 2 back. Lead the 2 back, you are giving count, but it's more important to unblock. So you should lead the jack back at trick 2 because you're starting to unblock. You need to get rid of the jack and the 10 in case your partner led 4 to the 9, 5 to the 9, you need to get rid of the jack and the 10. So the correct play at trick 2 after you've taken the ace is to play the jack. And then eventually you're going to get rid of that 10 and then partner will be able to cash out. So as soon as you can, you want to get rid of both the jack and the 10. If you were following suit, say the suit is being led by the declarer, your correct play would be the 10, the lower of touching honors. But if you are leading it yourself, you lead the higher of touching honors. In this case, it would be the jack. If you were following suit, you play the lower, the 10, because they're equivalent. And I've talked to you about if you play the higher, the jack, your partner's never going to know you got the 10. So it depends on whether you're following suit or whether you are leading it. If you are following, you play the lower of touching honors. If you are leading it, you play the higher of touching honors. All right, I want to go back to the hand I gave you for Flannery for assignment. I confused you by the bidding that I gave last week. So a better way to bid this hand, and I apologize to all of you for the confusion that I caused. It just depends on what you and your partner play. And a much better way, Carol Ruby also said, this is confusing, you need to go over this again. And so I appreciate her saying that. And also a couple of other people were confused. So I think a much better way to bid this hand, and I wanted to go back. This is from 2 weeks ago. Was the assignment. South is the dealer and opens 2 diamonds, which I didn't put the alert signs, but 2 diamonds would have to be alerted. 4 spades, 5 hearts, and 11 to 15 high card points. The really nice thing about this hand is all of your points are in your 2 suits. And when we come up to the North hand, North has an absolutely huge hand and certainly wants to consider going slam. 21 high card points, your partner's opened. Of course, she may have only 11 or 12. But you're interested in slam in hearts. And one of the bids I gave you when you are interested in slam in either spades or hearts, you had 3 bids. You could make the 2 no trump bid asking for shape or size. And that's the way I went through it last week, but it caused confusion. A much better way to bid this hand would be to bid 4 clubs by the North hand. Same partner, I am interested in slam in the heart suit. You sitting down here with 12 points, you're not really interested in slam. And so instead of bidding 4 diamonds, which transfers to hearts, and then you go through all of the ask bids, the key card bids and whatnot, you tell your partner right away, 4 hearts, partner, I have 11 or 12 high card points. You're kind of saying, I'm not really interested in slam. Of course, in the north hand, there is no stopping the north hand. So at this point, when you say 4 hearts, 4 spades is kickback, asking for the key cards. You would rebid 4 no trump, showing 1. You do have the ace of hearts. So going back to the north hand, she knows now that she has the ace of hearts. She has 9 hearts at least to the ace king. And she knows you don't have any points much in the clubs or the diamonds. It all comes down to what have you got in the spade suit. Also, do you have the queen of hearts? So a bid by her of 5 clubs is asking for the queen of hearts, and do you have an outside king? A bid of 5 no trump says, yes, partner, I have the queen of hearts, but I also got the king of spades. You see, you can't bid 6 spades to show that king of spades because that's now already above 6 hearts. So you can use the bid of 5 no trump, which is useless to you, except for the fact you can show a king at there where you might have, if you showed it at the 6th level, it would be above, say, if you're going to go for a 6 club or a 6 diamond contract. So when she bids 5 no trump, she is saying, I have the queen of hearts, I have the king of spades, and now you, as the north hand, either put it in 7 no trump or 7 hearts. And of course, the match point win is that the experts, the top players would be in 7 no trump because you score 10 points higher on that. But anyway, I do apologize for, I went through the 2 no trump and went through that deal, and it caused a lot of confusion, and I'm very sorry for that. Okay, so I'm going to end the lesson, and see you next week, maybe on Labor Day, and maybe not. So let me go ahead and end the lesson.